All right, so welcome. Uh, Jenee George here, Director in Qualifications of Mary Kay. And tonight we're going to talk about a flawless face, how to achieve that flawless finish. We know that makeup is not always necessary, but it does help with not only the protection of our skin, but achieving that flawless look that we often want. So I'm going to remove some of the face makeup that I have, just using one of our no rinse cleansers. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the micellar water. I think my thing's too bright. And the nice thing about the micellar water is just that it's a water that has micelles in it. And so the micelles attract the dirt and the makeup. So it's a great way to do a quick cleanse, or maybe the first step to a double cleanse. I know we talked about this on Thursday, whenever we were talking about doing skin cycling. So sometimes if you just need to do a quick cleanse and you don't have time to do your whole routine, this is a great way to just remove all your face makeup. And you see, there's my face. Okay, I just had CC cream on. And you do not have to rinse it. And that's just a great way, something convenient to have. You're going to the gym or you're just exhausted and you just don't want to go to sleep with makeup on, the micellar water. Okay. So the important part of having a flawless face is starting with a clean face, right? And we have, obviously in Mary Kay, 5 different skincare lines, depending on your skin type, and what you're trying to achieve. And so the first thing I want to talk about is our wonderful apps. We have one app. If you have not already downloaded, you want to make sure you go to your Google Store or your Play Store, Apple App Store, and download Mary Kay Skin Analyzer. And with the fresh face, if you scan your face, it's going to make recommendations for your skincare. So make sure you have good skincare regimen before you put on any makeup. So that's the first tip I'm going to give you, okay? The other thing that is necessary for a flawless finish is to prep your skin. In addition to cleaning it, you want to make sure you put a good moisturizer on, because that makes your makeup look smoother. Your skin is hydrated. If your skin is really dry when you put on foundation, often it'll look chalky and it won't look flawless like you want. The other thing is to apply a primer. So does anyone know the benefits of having a primer? Like, for instance, if you are painting a wall, what does a primer do? What purpose does it serve? Any thoughts?
It helps to have the paint going smoothly, or your makeup going smoothly, I guess.
Yes. And so just like when you paint, thank you, Jade. If you put on paint on a wall without using a primer, you'll notice that the paint will usually soak into the wall. You end up having to use more paint. The imperfections show more. And so it's always important to have a primer, right? Sometimes you can buy paint with primer. Well, in this case, we're going to talk about foundation primer. So we have a wonderful foundation primer. It does have SPF 15, so it does have some sunscreen. And what the primer looks like, I don't know if you can see this, it's kind of like a clear serum, and you would apply this all over your face. It does not make your skin oily, as you'll see, and I do have oily skin, so I don't like putting anything on that's going to be oily, but it just gives you a thin layer. You put it on before you apply your foundation. It does help with some of the absorbing oil throughout the day, but more importantly, it fills in those imperfections before you apply your foundation. And so you apply that, a very thin layer, before you do your foundation of choice, and you let that dry. And again, it does have sunscreen in it. So that is foundation primer, okay? So regardless of the type of foundation you choose to wear, you want to use a primer. And in Mary Kay, we have options for everyone depending on the finish you want, whether you want very, very sheer coverage, or you like a more fuller coverage. And so I'm going to show you a few of the options that we have, depending on, sometimes it's just how you feel. And I have all of these in my makeup bag because it just depends on what I have time for or how I feel for the day. So the first foundation, before I start applying my choice for today, I'm going to talk about is our liquid foundation. This is our Time Wise. This formula is the matte formula. I prefer matte. This is mine. But our Time Wise matte formula, Time-Wise 3D foundation. And so what this does is it helps to give you that long lasting finish. In this case, a matte finish. We also have a luminous one that gives you a luminous finish. So it makes you, if you like your skin to maybe look a little more hydrated, if you have drier skin, you might like luminous. If you're like me and are oily, you might like the matte. But either way it goes, you get 12 hours of benefit. So if you have the luminous one, it's 12 hours of moisturization, and this one is 12 hours of oil control. They are both humidity and sweat resistant, which is good even when it's raining, because that's humidity, right? But even in the summer when we're sweating, this is going to stay put all day. It has the age minimized complex in it. That's why it's in our Time-Wise family. So it helps to prevent skin damage caused by blue light. Okay. And which is good, you know, like with the screens we look at all the time, right? Skin will instantly look brighter, and the foundation looks fresh all day. It has light reflecting minerals, so that helps with this one, the luminous one has jojoba oil in it, so just that's a little thing. This one's oil free, and so that has the microspheres that help to absorb oil, but it's not oily, not greasy, and it's not going to settle into the fine lines. So that's why it's in our Time-Wise family. Okay. So that's one choice if you want a liquid coverage. Oh, this is buildable. So you can do one layer, let it dry, and you can add if you like a fuller coverage. And that's good for all skin types, okay? The other option we have is our CC cream. Have you all ladies used our CC cream? I don't know if you have, Jade. CC stands for complexion corrector. And so even though it is it's not really a foundation, I would say it's more of a skincare product because it has 8 benefits, including protecting, brightening, correcting, and minimizing redness. It helps to hydrate and reduce the visible signs of aging as well. So all that in this little bottle. And I'll probably show one on each side so you can see a CC cream side compared to a liquid. I know people that use this first. Maybe if they have redness, maybe like rosacea, they'll use their CC cream first and then go back in with liquid foundation if they want a fuller coverage. So that's an option too. You can kind of layer these. Okay, so that's the CC cream. It also has sunscreen, SPF 15. So just a little bit. It's great if you're gonna do, workout, walk outside when it's not raining like this, of course. Okay. Then the other thing we have is and excuse me, I'm sorry, but you can see I use these. This is actually mine. You can put this in any of our compacts, but this is our cream to powder foundation. This is kind of an oldie in Mary Kay. Oldie but goodie. We've had this in our skincare line for a long time, and they try to phase it out and people love it, so they keep it on. But it's called Endless Performance Cream to Powder. So it's just like what it says. It goes on like a cream. Well, you're probably not gonna see it because it's my skin tone, right? I should have done it, but it finishes like a powder. So you can kind of see, you see the veins in my hand compared to this one. So it does give you a nice coverage, very smooth. It is heat and humidity resistant, so this isn't going to melt off. This is great for the summer. It's also transfer resistant. So once you put it on, it's not going to rub off or streak. Okay, so that's our cream to powder. All right. And then last but not least, we also have mineral powder foundation. So people love that. And we have in a loose format and then in the pressed. Okay, so we know that that's buildable, control shine, and long lasting. And then of course, this is not really foundation, but I want to talk about it. Oh, I got somebody coming else on. I think that's Pam. And that is our powder. And we're going to talk about the different powders, but this is the silky setting powder. This has gotten recognized as one of the best setting powders. Hi, Pam. Welcome. And so I'm going to demonstrate that for you, but we have the silky setting powder and then the translucent powder. So depending whether you like something that's closer to the skin tone or you like translucent, usually my bronze ladies don't really like the translucent because they feel like it sometimes give you a ghosty look. And that's why the silky setting powder is great for that too. So those are the ones that I'm going to demonstrate some of those today. And And you always want to use the proper tool as well. So sometimes people don't know what's the best way. What do you use when you apply foundation, ladies? What tools do you find are best?
I use my sponge.
You use a
Sometimes I
sponge?
use the that brush applicator, the spongy tip. Sometimes I
one?
use that too.
This one
Mm-hmm.
or this one? Okay. So
I've done them all.
you've done them all. Okay, so I'm going to clarify what does what when you talk about applying foundation. And sorry, my sponge looks kind of big because I washed it, and you know they get big when they. But you should use your sponge a little damp. So this is a blending sponge. It's shaped kind of like a cone. It helps with getting in the small little corners, especially around the eyes. I will demonstrate that when I'm doing my concealer. But you can use a sponge of some sort. The other thing you can use, this is our liquid foundation brush. If you see, it's kind of at an angle, and the bristles are very tight. So this is going to give you, oh, we lost Pam. This is going to give you, okay, hold on, let me try that. So this one's going to give you kind of a medium coverage when you use this foundation. Let's see, hold on, she's connecting. Okay, can you hear us, Pam? I lost you for a second there. Okay, so the foundation brush that's kind of at an angle, the great thing is that also can get around the curves of your face. This gives you medium coverage, okay? And then this is our blending brush. This is my favorite tool, and it will give you a fuller coverage. Also tight bristles, these are made for liquids. If you notice, brushes that are made for liquid products are always tighter and stiffer than like for your powders. But this is going to give you the more fuller coverage. So depending on the tool you use, and this is more for blending and sheer because it soaks up some of your product, okay? So depending on what look you're trying to achieve, you can have different tools in your toolbox. But today I will demonstrate two different looks, okay? Two different sides. Hopefully I don't look bad. All right, so we're going to start with the CC cream. Now CC cream, our CC cream comes in how many colors? Let's see. We have light, very light, medium to deep, and very deep. So they're not as many options as with the liquid foundation. I'm going to do one side. So remember, I already did, you missed it, Pam, but I did the foundation primer first. And so the advantage of the foundation primer, and it looks a little light when you put it on too, is that it helps the coverage go on very smoothly. I'm doing this by looking in the camera. Let me see if I have my mirror. Goes on very smoothly, but the other thing is it's very sheer. It's a very sheer coverage, gives you a little bit the kind of natural. And if you see, I had mentioned this before, there's hydration. So I don't know if you can really tell, but this side, you know, for me, it's not going to make me look as matte as I maybe normally like it, but it gives you enough coverage, right? So that gives you a sheer coverage. I use medium to deep, okay? And if you're darker than me, then you would either use deep or very deep, but goes on very easily, and I'm done, right? So that's one side with CC cream, and that's nothing except for my primer, okay? On the other side, I'm going to use, and I applied it with the foundation brush. The other side, I'm gonna use my my liquid Time-Wise 3D matte foundation. I wear bronze. Yes, I am a bronze. Don't make fun of me. I'm the the beginning of the bronze family. Bronze. W. I know y'all try to say I'm too light, but I am in bronze officially. Bronze W110. Okay. It's important that you get your foundation color match for your skin type. Remember, it shouldn't look like it shouldn't look like a whole nother face, right? So I'm going to use this on the other side. And the other thing with our foundation, I will say, is the same thing. When you first apply it, sometimes you're like, oh, that looks a little too light. But as it has IntelliMatch technology. So as you blend and you let it sit, it kind of it shifts to match your skin type shade. And I kind of like to do a little down here because sometimes I have some discoloration and I like to get over there on that side. Jay, did you say bronze? Okay, yes, bronze. Okay, so all right. So hopefully you can see. Let me get closer to you. So there's you're gonna have a little fuller coverage using the blending brush than the other side. Also, you should see it looks a little more. I don't know if this comes across on the screen, but you see this gives you a little fuller than this side, and it looks a little more matte on this side than this side. You see the difference? Okay. No? Nobody? Okay. She
Yeah, I
said
can
a
tell the
little bit.
difference.
Okay, thank you. All right. Looks a little bright. Maybe we'll change this light. Hold on a second. See, that's with the white light. The other thing is the lighting makes a difference. Let me see if I can. Okay. It's a little yellow. I have a little more yellow on my skin. Okay. So this is the TimeWise 3D. And as it's drying, you'll see you kind of get that flawless coverage. This is the CC cream, a little more sheer, a little more natural. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that is important when you're applying foundation or for getting that flawless finish is concealer. Now, how many of you use concealer? Do any of you ladies use concealer? Pam does? Okay.
I do under my eyes.
Okay. So concealer under your eyes, usually you want to use, depending on what you're trying to cover. So if you have dark circles under your eyes, then you usually want to use a concealer that is maybe a shade lighter, maybe a tinge lighter than your skin tone. Or if you've really dark circles, then you use our under eye color corrector. Am I saying that right? Yes, the under eye color corrector. It has peachy undertones, so it cancels out darkness. So some people naturally have dark it's not dark eyes, and so they're going to want to use, let me show you that one. And it doesn't matter whether you're bronze or you're a vanilla skin tone. The under eye color corrector neutralizes the purple that's in, it's like a peachy color. So it's going to neutralize the purpleness. Is this my, sorry, I should have had this out. Hold on. The other thing that this is great for, I'm going to show you, I don't know if you can see that, but you see it's very light, but it has peachy. So that is to cancel out darkness. So sometimes if I have really dark spots that are left from, ingrown hairs or, we can personal, right? Or like acne scars and it leaves a darkness, I will use this color corrector, under eye color corrector, and neutralize that. Okay, so you probably can't see it, but I have a couple little spots that are scars, and what I'll do, and I have a couple places here that are a little darker. So I'll use that, okay, and I'll show you how to blend that in later. I let that dry on there a little bit. For underneath my eyes, if I want to really like let my eyes pop, then I'm going to use light beige for mine, okay, because that's a skin tone lighter than me. Underneath my eyes, I'll actually try both so you can see. Now, I don't have a lot of darkness under my eyes, but the great thing about the concealer is it does conceal age spots, minor skin imperfections, and helps to blur the fine lines and optically correct it. So it reflects the light and it's creamy, which is nice. So I can apply that straight from it's like a lip gloss wand, straight from my container. And then I usually blend mine in with either concealer brush, which we have, or the blending sponge. And that's why you have this little tip. So that helps with that. So I'm going to do two different ones so you guys can see the difference. That is light beige. This side is deep beige, which is more closer to my skin type. See, this one's a little yellower than that one. And then what you do is you just blend that in. So I'm just going to blend it and I like to bring it down a little bit. When you start doing contouring and maybe more advanced skin makeup application, you'll see these ladies on Instagram, you know, kind of doing all of the highlighting and contouring. They will use concealer. Oh, and did you notice we apply concealer on top of our foundation? A lot of people put concealer underneath. The advantage of doing it on top, it's something it can adhere to. And it also allows you to see where you need it. So do you see how much that brightened my eyes? I went a shade lighter on that side. Now this side, I just used it closer. I'm just going to use the other side. This one's closer to my skin type. And what you're doing, you're just blending. You don't want to wipe it off. My sponge is a little damp, which avoids it, keeps it from absorbing on my product. Okay. It too is going to brighten. But it's just a little bit of a different effect. I don't know if you can see that. So this one, yeah, that's concealed. This one's brighter. Do you see do you see the difference?
Yes.
So if I really, it depends on what I'm trying to achieve. Then I'm going to go back in over now I'm fair enough where I can kind of usually blend away the under eye corrector, and it's okay. If you're darker, like if you're Pam's color and you use this one to neutralize dark circles or to help with the blemishes, then you're going to want to go back over this, Pam, with your concealer that's closer to your skin tone. So you let it dry and then you apply it. So there are some more steps when we're trying to conceal imperfections and do the flawless face. Okay, but just that's why this color corrector, and it's also a hack with makeup artists. They use it for a lot of different things, but so that's concealer. So that's going to brighten your face, brighten your eyes. It's also going to conceal, and you know, then you don't have the darkness. All right. Any questions about concealer or what it does? No?
No.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to finish up. Now, another thing I learned last week, another little hack. We have a finishing spray, a makeup finishing spray. And usually people apply the finishing spray after they do everything. I learned last week that you can apply it before you do your setting powder and then afterwards. And that makes your skin set, your foundation set even better throughout the day. And for people like me that are oily, that's very important. Let's see.
You have a question, Jenee.
What's the difference
In
between
the
the
chat.
concealer and the under eye corrector? Okay, so the concealer, the under eye corrector, remember that's for darkness. That's going to, I keep showing the wrong one. This is light. Let me show you the right one. That is to neutralize dark circles because it has peach undertone. Okay, whereas concealer, there's still a type of concealer, and then the formula is very similar. It's more about coloring. Here it is. It's the peachiness that neutralizes the blue. So it's specifically for darkness, okay? Whereas your concealer helps with maybe blemishes. Like if you have pimples, you want to use a concealer that's close to your skin tone, okay? Because if you put this on it, it's actually going to draw more attention to the pimple instead of making it go away. So it depends on what you're trying to achieve. This is for darkness, and blue is peach. And then the concealer is more your skin matched to your foundation, your actual skin tone. Did they answer your question? Yeah, okay. Pam, did you have a question? Okay. All right. So.
That was my question.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was Jade or you. Okay. So now I see it was you. All right. So if you use the finishing spray, they tell you just to do like an X and a T. I like to get my whole face. So the finishing spray helps to set your makeup, not only your makeup, your eyes. I already had eye makeup from earlier today, so I didn't really touch those up. But now this is something I knew I do. I do my finishing spray, let it dry, and then I go in with my setting powder. Now our powders, if you've never used our setting powder, it comes in there's a cloud comes in a thing that has little holes, and you shift it to open it, and you just tap a little bit out so that you can get some in the top, seal it, and then use your, oh, hold on, let me get my powder brush. Okay. Then you use your powder brush. Your all over powder brush is just fluffy. And what I do is I kind of swirl it in the top. You can see this. Swirl it on the top so that I can get enough powder, and then that's too much. So then I just kind of tap it so you get the excess off. Okay. Now the color I use is deep beige. Now, it'd be nice that all these colors coordinated, but even though I'm a bronze in my foundation, my powder is deep beige.
Can't be a bronze on everything.
I can't be bronze all the time. Maybe in the summer I'll get a little darker. Okay. So what I'm going to do is apply the powder all over. And what that does, it just helps to give you that finished, flawless look. And it does help to absorb oil throughout the day. And you see, now I just look nice and polished and all over even, right? And now I'm distracted because I'm looking at my concealer on my eyes from one side to the other, but that's okay. This is demonstration for you. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so that is the silky setting powder. You get something close to your skin tone for that one. And then the other option would have been the translucent powder. Nice thing, I'd use both. I switch back and forth. Usually what I do is my translucent powder, I will apply a little bit underneath my eyes after I put my concealer on, but before I put my eyeshadows on. And what that does is it helps to catch the colors that fall. You know, you have fallout from putting on eye makeup, so that so then my eye makeup's not stuck to my eyes after I'm done. So then when I'm done with my eyes, then I just kind of brush it off. So translucent powder is good for that. And also is good for touch-ups when I don't want to, because this has a color, the setting powder does have a color, and I don't want to put layers and layers of that powder, and I just want something to knock off the shine. I use a translucent for that. So it's really about, you know, preference. Okay. And then that's it. How to get your flawless finish. So let me just review what I did. So you always start with the clean face. I just did a quick wash with the micellar water. Then I went in with the foundation primer, let that dry. I put that all over. And then I did two different finishes. This side, I did my CC cream, which you see it covers pretty well, right? It just was a little sheerer. Does give me a little bit of protection and some sunscreen as well, SPF 15. This side, I used my favorite, which is the Timewise 3D Matte Liquid Foundation in my skin color. Then I went, I did some spot coverage with my under eye color corrector to neutralize the darkness. Then it showed you two different under eye looks. One, I went lighter under this eye, yes, with my light beige. Wait, let me keep track. Hopefully you guys are keeping track. I can't remember.
The other eye.
It was the other eye. Okay, the lighter's on this side.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyways, that's what I did. I concealed. Okay. And then I went in with my silky setting powder, and using my different tools. Okay. All right. And oh yeah, and this was a tool too. All right, so that's it. I'm done. So any questions about how to achieve that flawless finish or the different options on how to do that? You see, there's so many different ways. You know, depending on how much time you have in the morning too. I know that sometimes the timber. Oh, and I showed this, but only on my hand, the cream to powder foundation. Okay.
I have a question, Jenee.
Yes, Jane.
So if you have drier skin, should you still do the setting powder? Or I mean, I don't want to look all cakey and, you know, like a picture.
Right. I feel like powder is good for any finish because it just helps to set everything. But I think you have to try it to see. So for you, I would say, okay, use the luminous finish foundation because you'll probably like that better because it does have moisturizing benefits. Mm-hmm. And then once you put it on, I love powder all the time. I think powder just helps to set it. And if it's the right skin color, right? If you get the right shade, if it's the right shade, then you shouldn't look ashy. If you look ashy, it's not the right shade. Okay.
And that loose powder, that finishing powder, Jade, is the best. I love it. Yeah. I don't like the white one. The
You don't like the
trans.
translucent?
No, because I can come off looking a
You were
little
looking a little ghosty?
ghostly, looking like Casper's sister, but I really love the finishing powder. That's my favorite. I love
This
it.
is one of our, this is one of our newer, additions to the family, the silky setting powder. And it's a step up from our old loose powder because, to me, the finish looks more polished. And,
Okay.
and I think really they did this for the bronze. This is I don't know. Mary Kay didn't tell me personally, but I just feel like for the bronze ladies, they were excited when this came out because not everyone translucent didn't look translucent on everybody.
Now, question. Now is that the same powder I just ordered?
It is, but you said it was too dark.
Yes.
For your.
Okay. All right.
And there are lots of shades for this too. So like this is deep beige. Then we have light to bronze, light to medium bronze. I mean, I think we ordered you light to medium and that was too dark. So you probably need to be light bronze, right? Then there's so it depends on your skin, your foundation color. So if I haven't color matched you, make sure we color match you. And then there's a conversion chart that will tell me, okay, this powder will match this foundation. The best way, the closest to your skin color or skin tone will be our liquids. We have more options with the liquid foundations, but sometimes you're in between colors. So during the summer, I do get a little darker. Shocker. Actually, we all get darker during the summer. Okay. Don't laugh, Pam. And so I may have to, step up my foundation to a darker shade, or maybe use a little bronzer, especially around the edges, because, we get darker. So you should have multiple skin shades in your arsenal. That's why I have different shades of concealer and different shades of foundation types, because we do change. Our skin tone does change. And if you start seeing a difference or a line between your jawline and your neck, that means it's not the right color. Okay, so you shouldn't see, unless you like me, where I like to shade and make my other chin disappear. That's just an optical illusion for the camera. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Anybody need to get their foundation rematched, or we good on our colors and everything? Do you learn anything new today?
Have you ever color matched me? I can't remember.
Huh?
Have you ever color matched me? I can't remember.
Oh, I think so, because we were always in, I don't know. Do you have one of our foundations, Jade?
I had one like 2 years ago.
Well, we can always recolor match you. Let's see if you're the same.
Okay.
I have all of our foundations. I have all the samples, so I can drop some off for you, or we can do a color matching session. I will say we do have another app, since we're into technology, right? Called Mirror Me. I find it's not as reliable to me, with finding the right shade, but you can play with it on the Mirror Me app too. Mirror Me, like looking in a mirror. And you can try different color. It's a glamour app, right? So you can play with the color of your eyes and your cheeks and your lips, but it will let you change foundation colors too. But let's schedule a time and I can color match you, Jade. I only have samples for the liquid, but that will let me know basically if once we find your color, and then you tell me which finish you like, whether you want the powder, the cream to powder, CC cream, and then we'll just, update your records. Okay. And I didn't talk about pricing on any of this. I guess that would be important, huh? You can always look at Mary Kay's website or download the Mary Kay app. But I'll go through the tools, the pricing on the tools. So your all over powder brush, this comes in our brush starter set if you have one, or you can buy them individually. So our all over powder brush is $16. The liquid foundation brush, remember for medium coverage, is $14. And then the blending brush, my favorite, is $16. We have our normal makeup sponge is $12, but we had, well, this was the limited edition one that came out for the holidays. I still have some pink ones, but the regular one is black, and that one's $12. And these, I still have a couple more of these that come with the highlighting brushes. I don't remember what it was. I think they were $15. You get both the little cute pink brush and the pink sponge. How often should we be cleaning our tools, by the way? That's a little trivia question.
Every week?
Daily.
Daily, yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Go, Jade.
So we should be cleaning our tools every time you use them. And we have a daily spray that's the one I cheat with. I'll spray. You spray your brushes and wipe them off. That's good for your, your daily cleanse, but you want to use an actual, here's another trick. Dawn dish soap works really good, or shampoo will remove makeup very good from brushes because it's hair, right? And so you want to do that kind of cleanse at least weekly. And that will keep your brushes in good shape. And your sponges, you want to switch out about every quarter, okay? Because at that point, you need to just throw them away. I know, and just call me and I'll get you another one. Okay, all right. So those are the tools, all right? Then as far as the foundations, the CC cream is 20, I always forget, 22, okay? Our liquid foundations, whether you get matte or luminous, are only 25. Oh, I didn't mention the foundation primer is 20. This will last you. Now I wear foundation every day of some sort, whether it's CC cream or liquid. My foundation primer usually lasts me a couple months. My foundation lasts me a couple months. My CC cream even longer because I don't use it as much. I've had the cream to powder for quite a while. Once you open any makeup, a year is about as long as you should really keep it. Okay, once it's opened. And then your setting powder is 20. And the translucent, if you prefer the translucent, is 18. Is there anything else? Oh, and the micellar water is 18. Did I leave anything? Oh, finishing spray. The finishing spray is 20. And I didn't bring the brush cleaner out, but those are only 10. The daily brush cleaner. It's in a larger bottle. Okay.
So if you were to order everything, what would be the total?
Or 12. Well, I don't know, Jade. This add it. What do you mean? Please tell me everything. Would they qualify everything? Because I showed you probably about 20 things. So we'll add it up. You can write it on a piece of paper. That's a lot of things. Oh, I didn't even talk about the concealers. The concealers and the under eye color corrector, they're all priced at 16. Okay. So make your wish list, Jade, and I'll talk to you. We'll make a deal. Okay. All right. Pam. No addition. You both will have a present for me for coming tonight on your Friday night. I appreciate it. And yes, because you like, and Pam always wins, so I wouldn't do a drawing, Jade, because Pam's gonna win. So I'll just give you both a gift. She just comes on and wins everything, whether it's just us or the whole unit. They always draw Pam's name. I know we don't gamble, but if we did, you want her buying the lotto ticket. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. So that's
I like your hair too.
Huh?
I like your hair.
Oh, you like my hair? I told them I straighten the hair when it rains. I don't know why. And I pulled it back because, I had the little, the puffiness from me. Yeah. So, we like to keep it. So, but thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies, Wamba log off. Text me. Text me your wish list and then we'll ring you up. And you see, I have a full store. So anything you need, I got it. All right.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Bye, ladies.
Good night.